Let's see. Is this working? Yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay, so after a lot of waiting, finally got the kson on air, Ironside case. This is specifically the 011 Dynamic EVO. I requested this. Apparently, they had short stock of the NeoCube 2, and I didn't really want the NeoCube 2. And they were offering folks the 011 Dynamic EVO, and someone on Twitter, other than me, asked, "Hey, what if you just want the EVO instead? Like that's not like a fallback. I just want that in the first place." And they said, "Just put in a support ticket." So I got it. This is actually the 011 Dynamic EVO. Last time I was working on getting the cables sleeved, and that is all done now. I will try to change cameras and see if I can get a close-up of that. See if we can make that work. I guess this is working. Yeah. So I had a buddy print me some cable combs. It's not combed all the way into the back of the computer. Of course, this is just kind of difficult to deal with. It's not perfect. I'm not a professional at this, but did get it done. It's purple and pink and combed various points all the way down. I'll find a way to, I guess, tie this off somehow. The extra 8-pin. One of these is a split deal. I'm not sleeving any of the other cables probably because they're mostly not going to be visible. But the main 24-pin and the PCIe 8 pins are all sleeved. It's like 40 hours worth of work. You should probably just buy cable mod, but I had the tools and the knowledge to do it, so I did it. And let's go back to... Oh, I guess I can explain the other stuff. So this, you might be able to see that, is the B550 Vision D-P. It's a pretty expensive board, like $350 or something retail. I was actually at Micro Center and they had a customer return B550 Vision D-P. I sold my other board to a buddy. I had the Asus WS X570 Ace. It's like a workstation board, and then this board is a little different. This is like intended for creators, I guess, but it's like Gigabyte's version of the thing. I haven't used a Gigabyte board since, I don't know, AM3, so like more than a decade ago, back when they made, more normal boards. Everything now is RGB and fancy and stuff, and you could see this one's more creator oriented, less gamer oriented, so the styling's a bit more subdued, but it does have RGB headers built in. Something I like a lot. Let's see if I can get the camera down there. Down here. I don't know how well that's going to show. They actually put the Wi-Fi card down here for this board, and then it has antennas running up. You might be able to see that right there, and it goes all the way up to the connectors on the back. This is nice because if you keep the board for a while and want to upgrade your Wi-Fi later, it's actually easy to do it. 99% of the boards I see have the Wi-Fi card hidden under this shroud right here, and they don't really intend for you to swap that out ever. There's no instructions usually on how to change it out. You have to pull the board out most of the time, unscrew this shroud from the back to pull it off, and then the M.2 card is usually sitting right where it says Vision right there, vertically there, and then there's little wires that go to an antenna, the SMA antenna hookups. This cord's too short. 1 second. You have SMA connectors right there, but they're like an inch or like 2 centimeters away from the card, so it's really frustrating, but this board's really easy. This is the same CPU as the old machine. When I built the 011 Mini, I have no idea if it's gonna be visible. Looks like it might be 5800X. Same 2 16 gig sticks of uneventful DDR4. It's like silicon power, just 3200 megahertz. It doesn't even have a heat spreader on the other side, so it's quite literally just for decoration. But yeah, I guess I could show the front of the case too. Kind of looks like that. I think Ironside did a really good job with this. This is all screen printed. You can maybe hear that a little, maybe. That's not a sticker. So it feels pretty premium. And of course it's an 011 EVO, so you get all the benefits of that. I put some basic stuff in here last week or something, just to make sure that this board worked, because this is a customer return and I don't want to have weird warranty problems with that. It works fine. I've got a Amphenol branded M.2 to U.2 adapter. U.2 is one of the common ways that NVMe is used in the enterprise. There's some M.2 in enterprise, but most of it is 2.5 inch with a different connector on it. It's kind of like SATA, but it has a whole bunch more pins on it. And it's electrically the same as M.2, or even, you know, your regular slots right here. So this is just a converter. It has a cable permanently attached, and then U.2 at the other end. It's a 2 terabyte Intel enterprise drive. You could probably get them for a whole lot cheaper than I did back in the day, but I don't know, it does the job. I don't know if I'm going to put more SSDs in this. Probably not. I think 2 terabytes is enough for most games to fit, and take this on the go and put some stuff on there and then dump it off later. So yeah, some parts are here today. Obviously the case is here, but some things beyond that are getting changed out. Some things are remaining the same, like the 3080. This is a 3080. Oh, my gimbal is not liking this. One moment. This is the 3080 Waterforce WB. LHR, I guess, although that doesn't really make a difference anymore. Mining is kind of dead. This is reused. Our side kind of looks like this. I'm not going to bother to clean the other side because it's face down anyway. I'm not going to mess with vertical mounting, but they do offer some accessories you can buy for this case to vertical mount it in the usual location, which would be here. There's a complete replacement bracket for this, but you lose all of your other slots for use. There's a better solution if you want to do vertical mounting, which is to put it here. They make some other bracket that goes here, and it just sits like portrait like that. I don't know how the wiring goes. It might go out a grommet in the back. I'm not entirely sure. This is just gonna be mounted normally. Getting a different GPU block installed. Bought this when Frozen CPU was going out of business. And there's a whole bunch of new fittings and tubing and all kinds of stuff that I'll show later. Part 2 will be maybe Sunday. I have some fans that are coming in, which are holding up putting in the reservoir and stuff like that. So this shouldn't be too long of a stream. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's go back to the other camera. And I'll put this down. Okay, set that down. I guess let's fix the wiring a bit. I'll put the overhead camera on. It's not super great. It's a Razer Kivo. But I don't know. I guess it helps a little bit. Let me know what you think. Alright, let's see. Let's fix this up a bit. Well, this is just test fitted, so it's not routed around the right way. Something that's interesting is the front panel header. It comes with the case. Maybe I'll zoom this in. Let's see. I'm not tethered. Okay. Go a little more. That's it. So this, and change the focus. This front panel header that comes with the case comes like this. It's just one block. I've never heard of the industry standardizing the pins on the board. So you have to look up the manual how this is pinned out from Leon Lee. They don't give you a way to break it out, so I don't know what you do if your board doesn't meet Leon Lee's arrangement. I double checked. Their default arrangement does work for this board, but just a cautionary tale or something. If you buy this case, you might have to get a little creative with this. Let's see, pull this back a bit. Let's plug the audio in back here. And let's see, the USB 3. Everybody loves this thing. No idea if you could see that. I'll make it a little bigger. So this connector, everyone's favorite. This one's actually not too bad. It's pretty flexible. A lot of cases have these round cables the size of your pinky, 2 of them that go into this, and you have to do huge bends to get it plugged into the board. But I don't know, this is not too bad. You can bend it pretty tight to keep that nice and neat. So let's see. So the connector for this is at the bottom of the board. Let's see if I can have that go out the bottom of the case as well. Yep. Turn this around a little bit. There's not really a good way to get good lighting in there. Focused okay? Yeah. There we go. And I guess we'll get rid of the Kivo. And that's kind of what that looks like. I think that's in focus. So now all the cables are kind of routed around the right way. This is just gonna go like that into there for the graphics card. Let's see, let's put this back a little bit. And then turn the Kivo back on. So top comes off, there's 2 screws on the end near the back. You kind of see that there. These are captive, just all mesh. And then probably make this bigger. This whole tray right here actually will come out. That holds the radiator. There's just 2 screws on over here that hold it in. And it just comes out. Let's see if I can move this back. I don't have a way to zoom that. What does it look like without the Kivo? You can't see that. We'll do it with the Kivo. I have budget for 1 good camera, not 2. So the radiator's getting reused. This is a Alpha Cool product. You can see the logo right there. This is a 360 by 45. I think most single GPU and pretty much any CPU combination, this is way more than enough, but I don't know, I guess I don't own a 4090 to find out. This is the crossflow one, so coolant comes in one side, comes out on the other. It doesn't matter too much because this is going to go horizontal. But vertical, it's nice because In a normal radiator, they have the in and out at one end, and then the other side's blanked off. So the coolant goes in, goes down, and then loops back around. These channels are divided in half. There's a divider there. Will go down, come back around, and up. Whereas this would just go across the entire width all the way down. In vertical, you're not fighting gravity. If your return is into the top, it just flows with gravity down. It doesn't have to go down and then back up. Yeah, I bought this. It went for the old machine. These aren't terribly expensive. I think like 50-60 bucks. All copper. And I've got new fans put on it that I will show a little bit later. Let's see if we can get it secured to this bracket. I think... let me think. Which way... I think I want to turn these fittings in around. I would like for the tubes coming out of the CPU to go up to this corner rather than trying to fight it into that corner, I think. I think that'd be easier, and then just have the return to the reservoir coming down here, maybe? No, the reservoir's going to stick out a bit, so it's got to kind of be coming down here. Let's see if we can get it to... Yeah, I think that'll actually be okay. I've got some different shaped fittings, 90s and 45s, that should make that work. So we'll just put it like this. I don't know if I can make this any better. Let's see. Can I oversize this a bit? Yeah, there we go. Sorry it's not super great, but again, I only have one good camera, and I think this is as high resolution as it's going to get. I think it's 1080p, I don't remember. Alright, let's see. Maybe I'll set the iPhone up. Make that a little easier. Let's see. Put the little stand on there. Trying to find a good angle here. Might be a little better. I guess that works. Alright. So you have to use little short screws. Kind of like that, if it's going to focus. There you go. They're not 30 millimeters long. Don't read into what the bag says. I don't know what these are, but they're shorter. Focus one more time. All right. Of course, alpha cool has to be different. These are hex. So they take keys like this. They're not Phillips or slotted, so that's always fun. Luckily I have the little wrench for it. The fans are going to go under the radiator. They're not going to go between here and the radiator and the top plate. I've got some fancy RGB fans, and I want them to light up the inside of the case, and I'm not going to bother spending double to get push-pull. There's some benefit to push-pull. It's not a lot. So at the price some of these fans cost, I wouldn't worry about it. One second. Sorry, I forgot to send this stream to a couple people that I thought might be interested. I'm probably not going to put all of the screws in here. No, I might put all of them. It's not really necessary. This one's not tapped very well. It's going in straight, but it's not tapped very well. Yeah, I'll just put them all in. It's not that big a deal. course, none of this is magnetic. Might be able to find a magnet. Let's see. Let me step away for just a second. I think I know where a magnet is. Ah, found one. Here we go. Coming back. I think this is a lot overkill, but there's a magnet. And now it holds the screw. Now it holds on to everything, though. Just magnetize it. And hide this magnet somewhere safe where it won't hurt anything. Make sure all these are bottomed out. Okay, and now flip this over, or let's see if it'll fit. Let's change cameras. Let's see. Drag this forward a little bit. Let's see if this fits okay. Looks like it. Change cameras one more time. Angle this up a little bit. You can see that's how it sits in the case. There's plenty of room for fans. It's not going to run to the board. As you can see, I didn't bother to sleeve the 8-pin CPU. It's barely visible anyway, and that's like 2 hours of work that I'd rather not do. So anyway, let's go back to the, let's put this down. Angle it down and rotate it. Okay, and pull this back out. And back that away. I really wish, like, if you ever look at, like, really old, like, 10, 15-year-old Lian Li cases, they actually had a lot of aluminum cases, which looked really, really nice back then, and they were very lightweight. I wish they would maybe come back and do that with more of their cases. I don't even know if they do it anymore. This is steel. This thing's, you can clearly see it's heavy. I don't know, maybe the durability is not there, because I guess cases are a lot different back then. We weren't installing radiators and little tiny bits and pieces and LEDs, and maybe aluminum just not shapeable and or not durable enough to hold up to those things. I'm not sure, but it'd be really nice because, man, even without hard drives on this thing, it's heavy as hell. So yep, I got new fans. I put them down somewhere. Yep, here they are. These are customer return Thermaltake Tough fans. Unfortunately, the front of the box is gone. Maybe Amazon had stuck a shipping label there, and when the first customer shipped it back, they cut it off. But yeah, like that. Focus. There. Anyway. These fans are interesting because, well, they look a lot like, if anybody old out here, they look like Gentle Typhoon, but some of the newer crowd would say that this looks a lot like Noctua A12. These are really close to the Noctua A12 from everything I've read. These are LCP fans. It stands for liquid crystal polymer. It's apparently incredibly hard. So you might be able to see it. The distance, can you focus? The distance between the edge of the blade and the cowling is extremely small, cutting down on noise and actually providing a lot more airflow. It kind of looks up close, I don't know if you can see how well YouTube's going to show that. It kind of looks like it's glass fiber reinforced. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it kind of has that look to it. But yeah, these are RGB LED top and bottom. There's the label if you want to see what that looks like. Bought these. These are expensive. I think retailing these is like $100 for 3 of them with their proprietary controller, which is something I might look into working around at some point. You can clearly see that there's 2 sets of wires here. There's the wire that clearly goes into the fan motor, this multicolored cable, and there's this black one. One is clearly for RGB LEDs. One is clearly for the fan, the power and the PWM and the RPM, the tachometer sensor. But it goes to a connector like this, so you can't just plug this directly into your board for LEDs and the fan power, fan control. But I don't think Thermaltake's probably all that inventive, so I'm going to guess that well, the fan's not much of a mystery. You can see it's just 4 wires, ground, positive, tachometer, and PWM. However, the LEDs, they are addressable, but they're 4-pin. So I don't think that's going to be directly adaptable to a board, even with a connector change, because it's not 4-pin what computers have. 4-pin what computers have for LEDs is analog, and it's 12 volts, and they're not addressable. So the older 4-pin RGB strips and fans and bars and all that, you can only have them as one color. We went to the industry kind of went over to a 3-pin design, which is power, ground, and combined clock and sync, or clock and data line. So ground, positive, clock, and data. That's your 3 wires. However, you can there are LEDs out there that can be controlled with 4 wires that have separate clock and data, and computers typically don't use that, so that's probably why they've included a controller here. Let's see if we can pull this out. That's a controller with several ports on there. I'm going to take a guess that this might be 5-volt SPI controlled. I think SPI is the right word for that. The advantage of this, as far as I understand, generally speaking, is you can address things much quicker. There's less overhead to do it this way. There's more wiring, but there's less overhead. So to update one LED, it takes less time. I think I actually have an example of this sitting in my drawer. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this actually works. Let's see if I can put this on camera. I have a RGB strip from AliExpress, and you can probably see that there are four lines. So here's like just power if you want to do just power by itself, and then here's your connection. You can see GND for ground, CI for clock, or CL for clock, DI for data in, and then 5 volts for power. I think this might be what is in these fans. I don't remember. I think this is like SK9822 or something. If you go dig through AliExpress, if you want to buy something like this, I can actually show the normal type. I think I have a roll of it. Yeah, I have a roll of what these are called WS2812, I believe. This is exactly compatible with the digital ARGB controls inside of a modern computer. You can probably see that. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Focus. You can see there's only three pads there. There's only three wires coming out. It's 5 volts data in, and then ground. As far as I understand, it's much more difficult to address something in like a single LED in this type of system. A buddy of mine's explained it to me. Apparently you have to send an update to the entire string all at once to change one thing. So there's a lot more to do to get that done. Whereas the 4-pin, you could just say, hey, this LED at this address, update, and it will do it. I'll put that away. And let's get these put on there. So pull all these out, get the focus to work again. Can we do automatic focus? I think it's good enough. There we go. One thing I don't particularly like off the bat is this coating or sleeving they have on these cables. The cables are very long, but I think this is like some fire retardant coating. It's like, it's not slick, it's like rubbery. It doesn't look nice. I guess it completely covers the cables inside, but like that's the only benefit. So let's put these on. Remember, most fans, the label side, or where the frame is, that's the way the air comes out. I don't think these have it printed on there. Oh no, they do. You can probably see that there. Fan rotates that way, blows air that way. It came with bolts, but I don't. I'm probably not going to use them. Maybe I will. I think it might be the same thread as the radiator. Let's see. I think these are fine. We'll see that. Nope, there's no way you're gonna see that. So you can get this to focus manually. You can see that there. That's fine thread. Yep, that's a perfect fit. This will work. This probably wouldn't work on XSPC radiators. You'd have to use the ones that came with the radiator. They use coarse thread. And the last bag here. And let's see, screwdriver. Nope, nothing's broken yet. No close calls. How's the BGM okay? Or is it too loud, too quiet? Decided to hunt down some BGM. Okay, that's all in. Oh, these damn wires. If I had the right sleeving and felt like taking these connectors off temporarily, I would re-sleeve these in a heartbeat. I don't have sleeving thick enough for that at the moment, so eh. And we'll set all that off to the side. Oh, goodness. And you can't hear the BGM? I can turn up a little bit. Maybe it's like way, way, way too quiet. Try that. Maybe that'll be audible now. Shows the BGM's playing. Okay, you can hear it. That's good. Yeah, it's I don't remember what this is called. It's in the doobly-doo under the video. It's a late night radio from Kevin MacLeod. He does free music that you can use under Creative Commons. Hello, Magni Docky Enjoyer. Let's see if I can bundle all these cables up and turn the other camera back on. Not that one. That one. Zoom this out a bit. Other way. And maybe turn the Kevo back on. Something like that. And bundle all this up. I think this is probably the best grommet to use. I'll have to find some way to cable manage this in the back. And this might be a little tricky. I don't know, it'll probably be fine. See if I can stick that through there. Yeah, there sure is a dragon off to the side. I think she's pretty cool. It'll sit like that. I think getting that fitting might be a little tricky. There's a fitting way back there. I guess let's secure this down so it doesn't fall out. Yeah, BGM's just looping in the background. Let's see how a fitting would work. I don't know. So let's see. I've got new fittings. Come individually boxed. It's kind of frustrating. I'll switch cameras, show this a little more up close. They're purple. Look at that. To as much as I can match this. Not too many people make purple fittings. There you go. Now it's in focus. This is from a company called Monsoon. Let's see if we can find a bigger box. I think they make some of the best looking compression fittings you can buy. These are for a different project at a different point. They won't be used in here, but these purple ones will. Let's see, let's pull the O-rings out. They come with a black one and the color of the fitting as well. I don't see why you can't see the O-rings no matter what anyway, but I guess you get a spare one. Yeah, no, 6-packs, they didn't have the purples. I bought every last purple they had. This is all from Frozen CPU, where they were going out of business and fire selling everything. Kind of a pain in the butt, but constants like that. It's purple. Yeah. So, let's drag the camera around. Yeah, maybe. Maybe in a clear block. So, let's see if this will fit. Drop this down some more. The fitting goes all the way back there. And it doesn't come in the individual ones, but I have the 6-packs. The 6-packs come with a tool that looks like this. That you use, it's a spanner to turn the outer ring. This is the wrong one, I think this is for 1/2 inch. This might be it. Kind of locks in like that and you turn it. It also has the other end so you can screw the fitting into whatever. I'm gonna borrow that out of one of the 6-packs. Come on. There we go. Let's see if we can screw that in. I think this is a fitting I'm never going to want to mess with once it is installed and the tubing's on there and all that. I don't think I'm ever going to want to touch this. So let's see if tubing will fit in there. I don't know. That might become a barb. So I got 10 feet of clear. I don't remember what brand it is, but it is plasticizer free, so you won't have that problem. You just put the ring over like that with the threads facing that way. And let's see if it'll go on there. Let's get you to focus. It fits. I think tightening that's going to be a nightmare and a half. Maybe I can just do it by hand. I'm rapidly approaching the conclusion that maybe I should just pull the whole thing out and do it separately. Threads are so thin, it's very difficult to get it to go on there. I think the camera may have to move out of the way. It's super difficult to get in there and turn this. Get the tubing and put it over there. Hello. Yeah, I think it's gonna come out. Yeah, I think this is just gonna come out. Turn the other camera on. Phone out of the way. I guess the wires are just gonna come out like that. So you can just set this down like that. Let me show this a little better. There you go. Okay. Is the CPU water cooled or is it just GPU? Both. Not yet, but they will be. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't try to do this by hand. Yeah, I'll say the aesthetics. I don't know. This is probably the most I've dealt with aesthetics for a personal computer. You can obviously do crazier things. You could send your radiator off to get like powder coated in whatever color you want. Go absolutely wild with the RGB fans. We're just starting here. We'll see. It can get expensive. Like these 3 fans were $100. Are they on the same loop? Yes. Sorry, I'll change the camera in a moment. And I'll just kind of sit like that. Put the screws back in so this doesn't fall out. Okay. And then the other side should be a lot easier. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull the fan off to install the other one. That's probably what I'll do. I'll just take, when I get over to this one, when I get over to that one, I'll probably just pull this fan off, take all the bolts out, and I'll be able to get that in there pretty easily. So if anyone's curious, there's like a, I don't know, like a 5 centimeter gap between the end of this and this plate here. This plate, apparently you can turn it around. This whole thing pivots out. You can flip it around the other way to give you even more space. Might end up doing that. That's the fans I don't have. I'm wondering if it would be cool enough to put a cheap figurine in there. If you could find a way to hold on to it so it doesn't move around, sure. Probably could. Alright, next. So what's going on here, this big empty hole, there's going to be fans that are going to go here. They're not here yet. I ordered the Alpha Cool, or not Alpha Cool, sorry, Lian Li, I think they're called AF140s. They're a little bit cheaper than these, I think about $10 cheaper per fan cheaper. Supposedly they're like some of the best looking RGB fans you can buy. Based on the reading I did, they're about $18 to $20 a piece. And then those will go there, and then the reservoir will sit on top of that. I can show that, I think. I have it sitting around here somewhere. Yep. So this is the reservoir from the old computer that it came out of. Let's see if we can zoom this out a bit. It mounts to a 140mm fan with a stainless steel bracket, and this is glass, and the pump just sits on the bottom. And you can feed it in through the top, which I might do that. I'm probably not. I'm probably going to put a plug back in there and then feed it in through the bottom. I believe this is in and that's out. It'll look better, and I won't have to bend the tube quite so much to make it in there. It can just kind of go down like that. So this is another day. I don't have the fans. I can't mount it today, so it's going to go back under the desk. What I do have that's new is the CPU block. Let's point this down a bit. I'll save my O-ring, put that in a bag so I don't lose it. This is a Raystorm Edge. This was super cheap. It was like half price at again, Frozen CPU. They're going out of business trying to sell everything. I've never owned one of their CPU, or actually any of their blocks, but I've had plenty of their radiators and reservoirs and stuff like that, and I always like that. So here it is. It's RGB. Looks like this. Has an in and out. Copper plate on the bottom. What I like about this, you can kind of see it there. You can see like this one has an arrow pointing in. Now it's arrow pointing. Does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it just has an arrow for in. It doesn't have an arrow for out, but it's obvious. What's kind of cool about these is this whole aluminum thing on the outside comes off, and you could just swap for a different bracket. There's no screws. You don't have to take the block apart. The other blocks that I have by EK and Watercool, you have to take the block apart to put a different bracket on there, which is kind of frustrating. So let's see how this mounts. I've never done this one before. They give you instructions. They give you instructions with boards from pictures of boards from like 2010. Remember when we had blue and black boards? Look at that. I mean, that's a... What is that? That looks like an Asus board right there. Or is that Gigabyte? No, it's actually two different boards they're showing. This one has 2 RAM slots. That one has 4. Interesting that they've used 2 different boards in the middle of the instructions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like the one you have, because I think you have the Intel one. But yeah, let's see how this goes. It has you taking out the brackets, which you may be able to see I've already done. And then it says hold the back plate on with your hand, because it's just going to flop around. And then put the little pegs in there. And I'm going to guess take the protective coating, the film off, which I think I've already done, but I'll double check. Put your thermal paste on, put it down your screws, and then your nuts there. Thumb nuts, I guess. They don't look like they have any provisions for using a screwdriver, so finger tightness only. So, yeah. Probably would have been nicer if it was white, but couldn't really argue with the price and what they had. I think I actually did order the silver one, but they had me a black one. I don't know. It was like $25, which is super, super cheap. But yeah, the film's already been taken off. I think I took it off a while ago. And you can actually see the LEDs, I believe, are this little band right here that goes all the way around. That kind of feeds into it. You can see it's got heat shrink right there. Not too sophisticated. So, in is going to go on the bottom because the graphics card, which goes right here, is going to get the coolant first, and then it's going to feed up into the CPU like that. So, put that there. And the rest of the hardware is in the box. Oh, they even gave me thermal paste. PC K3. Never even heard of this. K3. And it looks like that. This up and switch to the other camera. You can see the brackets are already removed, they're not there. Reach behind the case and push on the bracket. There we go. You can see it's, maybe you can't see that. You can see at the top, I pushed it in so you can actually see the bolt holes. I think these are aluminum. They're really lightweight. I don't know how I feel about that. And just one at a time. Some grease on these bolts. Ugh, something on my hand. Hold on, I need to get a paper towel. Alright, let's give this another go. I don't like how that's like that. I mean, it'll work, but it's tiny bit loose even when it's bottomed out. Yeah, there's grease on these. Ugh. Why? There. Yeah, they really did put grease on the bolt threads. How about yours, when you got yours, it had grease all over the bolts? Ugh. I don't know, let me see what thermal paste I have. I think I have some GC Extreme. Kind of like that. Kind of hard to find this, but for years this stuff was pretty good. Yeah, I've got plenty of it. All of this is gonna have to move around, isn't it? And then tilt this back, take the protector off. That's probably way too much and gonna make people upset. That's okay though. And put the cap back on. And goes like this. Come on. Nope, that's gonna get untied a bit. Kind of just sits like that. And a spring. And a nut on each. Now, when you did this, did you have to tighten this down all the way, or how'd that work for you? I don't know if I've ever bought Cooler Master paste. I knew a buddy that bought some really low-end Cooler Master paste that came in like a little bucket. Turn the hand the right way. A little bucket like that. Enough for probably hundreds of CPUs. Okay. Clear some stuff out the way and put this back down. And 212. Yep. It's interesting. We said for years that 212 was all everybody ever needed at the $20-$30 price point, and now it's weird. It doesn't make sense to buy it anymore. There's actually much better solutions for the same price or less, considering some of them they want like $40 for them. Okay. The springs, yeah. I don't know. These haven't bottomed out, but they're pretty tight. So I'm gonna pull out some fittings here. Let's see. Point this down a bit. So, medium-sized box. Focus. Um, 45-degree fittings. Also color matched purple. And these are interesting. They have a hole on one side and the other. So you can actually install different things in the end, like they have this thing called a light port that actually will shine light through the tubing that way. And I bought a few of those. I bought some temperature sensors, and again, you have to put the O-ring on yourself. It doesn't come with it on there, which same thing. They give you one color matched and one black. This packaging's not too great. It's already falling apart. But not the big a deal. All the way on there, make sure it can spin freely there. And this just turns, it's rotary. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get one of the regular fittings. Just another one. Like that, and then it just screws in like that, and you can get your tool and tighten it down a little more. There's slots actually cut in there. Focus. So you can just use your tool like this and turn it. And then I have those light ports. I'll look like this. Unfortunately, it's Molex on one end. They're not RGB, but it has a lens on there, and then you can also take this out and change out the LED. It's just a 5mm LED. Fits in like that. So these are purple LEDs. They're color matched. You could get green, orange, blue, whatever. But I've heard from a buddy who bought red ones that they don't shine a whole lot through the tubing. I don't know. This was all cheap. It was all going out of business stuff. So if this is kind of lousy, I might see if I can dig through Mauser, AliExpress. There's another one I can't remember. Another electronic shop. I can't remember what it's called. And just see what the brightest 5mm white LED is, because we're going to use purple coolant here, so there's not a whole lot of reason to stick to a color matched LED. And then here's the clear part. It actually came with the O-ring already on it, which is nice, and it just screws in. Looks like the coating's actually falling off on this. That's not super great. You can kind of see there. I mean, you won't see it from far away, so I'm probably just going to leave it as is, but that's a little disappointing. It's plastic, so don't over tighten it. And I'll just leave this off and screw it in later. The plastic piece is what holds the liquid back, not the LED. And there's just a metal ring, it just goes like that. And change this. This is the output from the CPU block. And this can just turn. So I'm gonna get my pipe cutter, or my tubing cutter, I guess. It's not pipe. If you're doing this, either use a razor blade or buy yourself a nice cutter. I think this is like $10 like a decade ago. Stick your tube in there, squeeze it, and it cuts it. This might actually be better with a 90 than a 45. Maybe I'll do that. Let's swap this out for a 90. I do have 90s as well. Yeah. down. Here's what a 90 looks like. Similar idea. Has the pass-through for the light port and 2 O-rings. These fittings are filthy too. There's some manufacturing dust or grime on it. Not sure what's up with that. Like that. And then transfer the light port over. These are identical in either direction, I believe. Yeah, it looks identical to me. And that just goes like that. And take the fitting out of the 45. Oop. That's good and tight. Thread this back in to the top. And it's just going to point that way. So the hose can go like that. So I'm going to cut it probably about right there. Turn this a little bit. Frame that a little better. Okay. So kind of right there. And you just put it in there. Squeeze it down. Get your collar and put it on there the right way, threads facing out. It just slides on like that. And you can actually see this a little bit better. And this just goes with some difficulty, like that. Of course, it's difficult to get the threads to catch. I think I've got it now. Yeah, okay. By hand, let's see. Yeah, I can do that as much as possible. Man, that looks nice. Yeah. It's not perfect. Technically that's 2 different shades of purple. But there's not really a whole lot of other good options for this. And it just looks really clean. It's got no knurling. You save your fingers because they give you a tool to tighten it. If you do like traditional fittings, you have to tighten it by hand, and it hurts. Especially if you're doing this like professionally. Yeah, I don't know what you do. Wear some sort of gloves. Anyway. Let's slip the graphics card in there. So graphics card is, or let's clean up a little bit. Let's put some of this away. empty. Let's set the light port aside. CPU block's done. Don't need the thermal paste anymore. I can just go under there. Okay, graphics card. I showed it at the beginning of the video, but I'll change cameras. It's a RTX 3080 Aorus Water Force, or it's like Aorus Extreme Water Force WV. It stands for water block, I guess. This is reused from the old machine. It's not a great overclocker. It only has two 8-pins, so you can't do a whole lot with that. But it works as a 3080. It's silent because there's no fans on it. So. And let's get this to refocus. There we go. I've already taken the brackets out for this. Goes in like that, and I have the thumb screws for this. It's interesting. I actually have a gigabyte card and a gigabyte board. Not that it matters a whole lot, but again, it's been like a decade since I've owned a gigabyte board. Just tighten that up a little more than I can do by hand. Also in a weird spot because this circuit board sticks out so far. Okay. Yep, that will clear the side. I think I'm gonna have to do a straight fitting for that. Yeah, I don't think a 45 is gonna fit there with the light port. It's probably gonna hit the glass. Yeah, it's gonna hit the glass. That's not gonna work. So it'll just have to be a straight fitting, which is fine. Focus. There we go. Like this. This is not going to go very tight because that's acrylic. That's tight enough. And then get another one. No. No 10 Ugga-Duggas. Okay, and this will go right there. Underneath. And that is the inlet. Yes, that is the inlet. little bit. That's enough. And get our tubing. And it's going to go with the collar on. Like that. That's a tight fit. Alright, let's get the tool. So difficult. Pretty sure that's good enough. One more. That's good enough. I think that's pretty close to bottomed out anyway. So we'll chop this probably about there. Focus. Kind of goes like that. Okay, I think that's pretty close to bottomed out. Just kind of sits like that. Looks pretty good so far. Alright. And I will place the fitting now, but I'm not going to cut tube for it today. It's in this box somewhere. There we go. Get another. This might be the one where I put the temperature sensor in. temperature sensor there or something else? I don't think this board has temperature sensor inputs, and I don't think I'm going to bother to add the correct hardware to read it. Oh, let me Google it. Let's see. Let's see what the manual says. English. Let's see headers on this board. Yeah, this doesn't have any temperature sensor headers, I don't think. I don't see any in the picture. Yeah, this doesn't have temperature. Oh no, it does. 2x temperature sensor headers. Where is that? I think I found one. 2 thermistor cables. Where do they get plugged in? They have other pictures for this. Sure do. Number 7 on the board. There sure are 2 of them. Interesting. Maybe I'll do that instead of the light ports. Because I've heard they're not super great anyway, and I'm going to have other lighting in here anyway. So, let's grab some of those. I think I have 2 in here somewhere. Yep, here's one. Let's go back to OBS. And yeah, oh well. Looks like this. Oh, come on. Give me just a second. This camera's gonna go offline for just a moment. Actually put this in the where am I gonna put this? It's probably gonna get put over here. Oh, we need yeah, that makes sense. Gotta put our O-ring on, and then there is a connector somewhere on the bottom of the board. Let's see if I can plug that in. Can't hardly see it. The only flashlight I have is UV. Maybe that'll be enough. Oh, yep, there it is. this will get put into the bottom of the reservoir to measure the coolant after the radiator. So I'll go like that. I'll probably screw that in later. I'll go there too. Nope, this will get a O-ring. Sorry, lots of scrunching noises from this crappy plastic. This will go right here. And for now, let's get another one of these single fittings. That will feed over to the reservoir that sits right there. Not today, but eventually. And I don't know, do I want to put the... I could put the temperature sensor here. That would be a lot closer. Maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. Unplug this. This will still be cold fluid measuring, temperature measuring. Oh, sorry. Because it hasn't gone through anything yet. And I'll figure out how to tie that up nicely and tuck it under there. Which means I'm going to pull this light port out. I think a light port might still go with the radiator, one or two of them. But here, probably just the temperature sensor. I think I have another one in this box here somewhere. Yep, sure do. It's almost like I planned for this 6 months ago. It's like epoxy potted in there. Can I get this to focus? That's like potted in there. That's very hard. Maybe it's like a thermally conductive epoxy to get the heat from this side into the resistor. I'm not sure. And that'll just screw in right here. One where I maybe could sleeve this, not one wire, not individually, but maybe. Oh, might toy with the idea of that, sleeve it in purple or something. And then this will get plugged in. There's a header. Like there, right in there. That'll just go like that. I'll do it later. Might do that off stream, just because it's going to require zip ties, and if I do decide to sleeve this, I'll have to take it back out to sleeve it. Gather up some of these extra O-rings. Put them in a drawer for safekeeping. And boxes can go in the garbage. What else? Anything that can be done today? I guess we can keep this on here so it doesn't get lost. I guess we can assemble a little bit more of this. Sneak this up in here. Okay, and I guess I'll just stick that on there for now. I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun to figure out when the time comes. And I guess I could do some prep on the reservoir. Drop the camera down a bit. Hey, you can look at her. There you go. That won't fit there when it's put together, but if it wasn't liquid cooled, it would actually. But you wouldn't be able to see her anyway because we put the cover on. Well, you're just not gonna see her. So, not a whole lot of point for the to stick that in there. Anyway, let's point this down and put this back with the light port that we're not using yet. Actually, no, that will get used. Pull that out. And let's get another 90. Let's see. There's a 90. And there's a 90. Okay, got two of them. It's interesting, they've actually got provisions in here to hold a fitting in there, but As far as I know, they never sold these as a bundle deal. It was just 90, and then you had to buy the straight piece separately. But it looks like you could have. It has a spot to put the straight piece in there. I don't know. Maybe they used to. And then light port. And then a straight piece. Man, this stuff is dirty. Look at that. Nasty. You'd think they would have cleaned this before packaging it. Oh, nope, gotta put the O-ring on there. Okay. How does the stream look? Just curious, is there good enough quality? I mean, I'm pushing 50 megabits or whatever YouTube's maximum was at least 3 months ago, so I hope it looks good. So there's that. And then the second 90. This one has 2 black O-rings. Well, I guess this one's gonna have a black O-ring. Oh no, it's already got the purple one on there. I've already been in this, apparently. Must have looked through it earlier. And this is gonna get the other temperature sensor put on it. Oh no. Nope, that doesn't get the temperature sensor put on it. This gets another light port put on it, I think. I do have another. Plastic piece out. Set the lights aside. And it just goes in like this. And the last fitting I have. A lot of spare O-rings. I've never had to replace one, but I guess they give you enough where you're good. And then this just goes on like this. And then I'm going to put all these away in my spare parts bin. And that can go in the... Oh, here's my last spare fitting. Huh. Well, now you can see it. There is a spot for it. I'll just put that back in one of these little boxes. And toss it back in the big box I've got off to the side. This all can go in the garbage. up. There's the reservoir and pump and all that. Focus. There. So one of these holes is in and the other one's out. I believe the center one is in. Yeah, I believe that's in. Getting these on here is going to be interesting, I think. Let's see if it'll... I'm going to take this back off. Oh, okay. That's good on the quality. Yeah, I was going to use my nice Sony camera for most of this, but, I don't know. The, well, actually, you know what? That's too close together, isn't it? Well then. I don't think that's gonna get a light port. I think that's just gonna get a plug. Get one of those. Sure, I have one in here somewhere. Well, that's super crummy if I don't. Oh, it's on the table. Okay. Plug. Looks like that. Has a slot for a coin. Or the end of the tool, maybe. Hopefully this will fit. Ooh, that definitely touches. I don't think that's gonna work. Well. Well, I guess we could do the return in the top, like I had before. In which case it wouldn't be a 90, it'd probably be like a 45. Yeah, probably like a 45. I guess I'll just do the one here with the light port. I don't think the light port's really gonna matter. I'm not gonna bother. That's covered up by the design anyway. Okay, just kind of goes like that. And let's kind of size this up a bit. And let's see. So these are going to be 140mm fans, which I think I might have one as a prop. Not the one I want, but it'll do. Yeah, I got one here. So that's the lowest it can be. And we need to go from here to there somehow. Oh no, that's gonna be interesting. For sure, that will be definitely interesting. Yeah, probably a 45. Let's stick a 45 in there. I guess I can use more of these purple plugs, replace the silver colored ones. I mean, I have them anyway. Might as well. Back down. I can just go right there. Doesn't need to be crazy tight. And we'll get one more. Tool. Perfect. It actually fits in there. Look at that. Okay. And then 90 probably won't be the right thing, but let's grab a 45. Guess I'll take one of those boxes out of the garbage throughout. Okay. And let's see, I have a 45 here somewhere. Yep, this is the one I already put the O-ring on. And that would just go right here. Oh, I need another block off plug. I think I ordered like 6 of these. this giant thing into the top. And how does that fit now? Does that look like it might work? Yeah, actually, that's a pretty reasonable bend right there, just from here to there. And then, well, the 90 below, I mean, it's pretty much a straight shot, just from here to there. Probably turn that a little bit, and that's fixed. I can't rotate it. It goes like this. This one goes like that. And then I'll fix these for the temperature sensors. This will measure the hot side after it's gone through the GPU and the CPU, and then this one will measure the cold stuff before it goes into the GPU, so it's after the radiator up here. I think that's probably about all that can be done today, because the fans, I'm not going to use these, I've got other ones coming. So we'll probably revisit that, I don't know, Sunday or something. I think they show up tomorrow, but I got other stuff going on. Man, goodness, look at all these O-rings. Look at this. Ridiculous. Extra O-rings from all these little fittings. We're probably about to end the stream, so if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat, and I'll try and answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to clean up for a little bit here. Anyone do anything exciting today? I took tomorrow off, so this is kind of like Friday for me. Anybody jump in on the $10 Taco Bell pass yesterday? Me and my roommate did. Might go there later to get today's free taco. I think it expired yesterday, so you can't get it if you didn't get it already, unfortunately. Actually, speaking of kson, actually did catch a stream the other, it's a lunchtime stream. It was a Zatsudan, like a chit chat. That was actually kind of nice. I never can catch her streams. I think that was 2 days ago. Hopefully she, oh, hey Draconic, what's up? Hopefully, maybe one day, cross fingers, she'll do RTX on karaoke. That'd be pretty exciting. I'm kind of happy with whatever she decides to do, but she does value the opinion of her listeners, so I suggested it the other day. I should take like a week to do actual housework, clean up my entire existence. Sell stuff, get rid of stuff, throw stuff out, all that. A little bit at a time. I keep buying stuff like this. Got plenty of tubing left. I think every time I've bought tubing, I always buy 10 feet, and, well, we only need 2 more pieces of tubing. It's probably going to be like, I don't know, 6 inches there, 6 there. Have about 5 feet left. Last time I actually did EPDM, this black stuff right here. This is nearly indestructible, but decided to clear this time. I had to had to go buy some. I don't have, other than this, I don't have any 3/8 by 5/8. This is thick-walled, like medium thickness for the inner diameter. I'm used to building with stuff like this. I have way too much of this too. This is half inch. Look at the size of that. You can almost stick your whole finger in there. That's for my other computer. I wanted something a little more manageable. You can kind of see the size difference there. If I can get this to focus. You can just see how much different that is. So the only reason I bothered with half was I got a good deal about a decade ago on 1/2-inch EK fittings. So that's how I ended up with that. And I've never done it myself, and I never planned to, but an old buddy of mine, his first liquid cooling PC was using this. It's dirty and old, but I just use it as a drain line. This is thin-walled 3/8. Can I get that to focus? Yeah. This stuff likes to kink. This stuff is probably generic PVC. It's not good. Don't ever use tubing from a hardware store unless it's like rated for like drinking water. That stuff doesn't have plasticizer in it usually, but the standard PVC stuff has a stuff called plasticizer in it. You can go Google pictures of it. If you use that in a computer, after like 2 to 8 weeks, the whole thing gets cloudy. It gets this white chalky residue on the inside, and it's all kinds of unpleasant. MG gun tank. You know, I've never gotten into Gunpla. I feel like there's many things that I've never gotten into that I'd probably enjoy. That I feel like I'd probably get way too far into, and I think Gunpla's probably one of them. I do have the kson nippers, the kson collab nippers with whatever that company was, and they're kind of sitting in the corner until I'm ready to venture into that. Buddy of mine says that most Gunpla things get reprinted forever and ever. They keep reprinting them, so getting into it at this point is still pretty easy. You can kind of get whatever you want, or you might have to wait a little bit for it to be reprinted, but you can usually get it somehow. Maybe someday. Let's put the tubing back in the bag. Yeah, he also said the updates. They do reprint them, but oftentimes they'll come up with better manufacturing techniques, or maybe where like the original version required like glue or something to hold it together in certain points, they'll have figured out a way mechanically to allow you to do press fit, and a little more friendly to beginners or people that just want to click things together. Yeah. I guess I'll show one more thing. I'm not going to use it in this build. I think, because we've already got some tubing there, but because everything was half off, I bought this for like $5. It's 10 feet of 3/8 thick-walled purple. I think it's UV. Might be UV. Oh, let's find out. That looks UV to me. I'll turn the lights off for just a second. mean, I'd call that definitely UV. But, you know, it's kind of got this garish color. And I bought purple coolant instead. We're going to do clear coolant. Or not clear coolant, purple coolant and clear tubing. My favorite brand of coolant doesn't make purple coolant, but the local shop here, I guess, blends their own. I think the name of the product is a little goofy, called Mod Water. Let's get that to focus. It's about $10. I guess this is liters. Yeah, it's measured in milliliters. I think these are liters. Don't know. Everybody says it's pretty good. It's pretty uneventful stuff. I got 2 of those. I think 1 is probably going to be enough. But again, I'm not going to do that today because I don't have all the pieces. So, what else? Anything interesting to share? Oh, the whole thermal take fan wiring and stuff with this, I'm going to fiddle with that off stream. That looks actually kind of annoying and probably not that interesting for content. It's got a brick and then 3 different cables. One of them's USB. So that's interesting. I think the short one's probably for linking another controller, and then this one's probably for... I guess we could just look at it real quick. Let's see. So, Molex power to, looks like floppy. That looks like floppy to me. Which means my power supply should already have that, but I've got to use Molex anyway for the pump, so might end up using this anyway. Pretty sure this is so you can link it to a second controller. It's just 4-pin USB, nothing too mysterious, to another micro USB. I don't know why they would use a connector intended for external applications internally. But anyway, and then this one has the header like you're used to in a computer for USB 2. And then 2 different USB ports on the end. Goodness, what is this? Let's see. Yeah, it's got 2. Yeah. Got 2 USB. It's got both halves of the header wired up, and then 2 micro USBs. Why? Who designed this? And then I'm guessing there's probably 1. Yep. So you plug 1 in, and you can either plug a second one in with USB, or you can use that to daisy chain off to another one. I guess maybe if it's easier, you can do it this way or this way. I'm not sure. I'll have to read the manual and figure out what is going on. If you want to find out the explanation for why I have to use this controller, you'd have to scroll back in the video. I did a pretty long explanation near the beginning about why these are different. These are not normal connectors. So these are LCP fans, liquid crystal polymer, and the connector you can't see on the other side of the case is like that. It has power and RGB control in the same cable, but the problem is, you know, fan power is simple. It's 4 pins, it's ground, 12 volts, a tachometer signal, and a pulse width modulation signal. You could see that's clearly how they've done it, but the cable that comes out of this 2-row header that's for the LEDs in the fan is also 4 pins. And these are addressable RGB. Addressable RGB in a computer is normally 3 pins, so they're probably using what's called SPI. Actually, Draconic, I think you've done some LED stuff. You probably know a little bit about that, like the WS2812 stuff. That's 3 pin. That's what computers normally use, but I think they're using SPI, which is separate clock and data, probably so they can address the LEDs in here much quicker. Much quicker than using the 3 pin stuff. Yeah. So, anyway, that's a short re-explanation of that. Hope you enjoyed. I'm probably gonna end it here. It'll probably be a good 30-second gap before I end it, just because there's such a delay between OBS and YouTube. But other than that, thanks for coming. Have a good night, and I'll probably revisit this on Sunday once the fans show up that go here. So, have a good night.